Lesson 23. One man's meat is another man's poison. Do you understand the title? I'm sure you will after listening. While listening, first pay attention to this question. What was it about snails that made the writer collect them for his friend on that day in particular? 为什么作者要在那一天为他的朋友逮了许多蜗牛？
People become quite illogical when they try to decide what can be eaten and what cannot be eaten. If you lived in the Mediterranean, for instance, you would consider octopus a great delicacy. You would not be able to understand why some people find it repulsive. On the other hand, your stomach would turn at the idea of frying potatoes in animal fat, the normally accepted practice in many northern countries. The sad truth is that most of us have been brought up to eat certain foods, and we stick to them all our lives. No creature has received more praise and abuse than the common garden snail. Cooked in wine, snails are a great luxury in various parts of the world. There are countless people who, ever since their early years, have learned to associate snails with food. My friend Robert lives in a country where snails are despised. As his flat is in a large town, he has no garden of his own. For years, he has been asking me to collect snails from my garden and take them to him. The idea never appealed to me very much, but one day, after a heavy shower, I happened to be walking in my garden when I noticed a huge number of snails taking a stroll on some of my prize plants. Acting on a sudden impulse, I collected several dozen, put them in a paper bag, and took them to Robert. Robert was delighted to see me and equally pleased with my little gift. I left the bag in the hall, and Robert and I went into the living room where we talked for a couple of hours. I had forgotten all about the snails when Robert suddenly said that I must stay to dinner. Snails would, of course, be the main dish. I did not fancy the idea, and I reluctantly followed Robert out of the room. To our dismay, we saw that there were snails everywhere. They had escaped from the paper bag and had taken complete possession of the hall. I have never been able to look at a snail since then.
Are you able to answer the question now? What was it about snails that made the writer collect them for his friend on that particular day? Because the snails were crawling over some of his prized plants after a heavy shower. 作者呢，本来对为他的朋友逮蜗牛这件事情并不太感兴趣，只是因为那天下雨，看到蜗牛在他喜爱的植物上散步，这才改变了主意，为他的朋友逮了很多，又给他的朋友 Robert 送去。但是呢，蜗牛被两个谈话的朋友遗忘了几个小时，所以不但没有能够成为美餐，反而使作者再也不想看蜗牛一眼了。But that is not all the text is about. We can tell it from the title. One man's meat is another man's poison. 其实就是我们说的萝卜白菜各有所爱。英文中呢，还有一种说法 There's no accounting for taste. 人的口味或者说喜好这件事情是无法解释的。课文讲的事情呢，也是要说人们会因为地域或者习俗的不同而有不同的口味。当然，有时候也会因为一件意外发生的事情而改变感受，就像课文中描述的那样。All right, now we'll come to the language points. 我们先来看一下课文一开头出现的几个句子。If you lived in the Mediterranean, you would consider octopus a great delicacy. You would not be able to understand why some people find it repulsive.Your stomach would turn at the idea of frying potatoes in animal fat. 这几句中使用的都是虚拟语态，它表达的是一种假设。如果你住在什么样的地方，你会有什么样的反应？这里也是一样。 You would not be able to understand why some people find it repulsive. Repulsive 在这句话当中的意思是觉得恶心。它表示情感的时候是说非常令人厌恶。它的同义词有 offensive or loathsome. Your stomach would turn. One's stomach turns means one feels sick. 觉得恶心反胃。We can also say turn one's stomach. 使什么人觉得恶心 For example, the sight of blood always turns her stomach. 一看见血呢，她就会觉得反胃。Accepted means something regarded as proper by the public. 被公众所接受的。这句话中的意思呢，就是说这种吃法在这些国家中被看作非常自然的事情。那么我们还可以用 accepted 来形容其他的名词，比如 unaccepted term 一种被接受的说法 unaccepted opinion 被公众承认的一种意见 unaccepted fact 公众承认的事实。The sad truth is that most of us have been brought up to eat certain foods. 这里的 sad 不是悲伤的意思，是 the unpleasant truth, the bad truth 的意思。sad 在表达这个词义的时候，经常跟这些词连用。A sad fact 非常令人遗憾的事实。A sad state of affairs 可悲的现状。Look at this example. The sad truth or the sad fact is that racial prejudice still exists. 非常可悲的事实是，种族歧视至今存在。Most of us have been brought up to eat certain foods. Bring up to do something means raise, 抚养。注意说 bring up somebody, you emphasize to educate and care that child. 不仅是抚养成人，而且在文化上给予某种灌输。Look at these examples. He was brought up a Catholic. 就是他是被作为天主教徒养大成人的。这句话也可以说成 He was brought up as a Catholic, or he was brought up to be a Catholic. She was brought up to respect authority. 在长大成人的过程中，他就被教育的要尊重权威，服从权威。Stick to means keep doing something. 它经常跟这样的词连用 ：stick to certain beliefs， 坚持某种信仰 ；stick to certain principles， 坚持某种原则 or habits. Look at this example. If you're driving, you'd better stick to soft drinks. 你如果是开车的话呢，最好只喝软饮料。Countless people. Countless 的意思是不计其数的。跟它意思相同的有 innumerable。那么 numerous 意思是非常多的。Their early years 这里的意思就是 since childhood. Years 这个词表示 a period in one's life or in history. 历史上或某个人的生活中的一段时期。For example, his college years, 他的大学时代。The Stalin years, 斯大林统治时期。Associate snails with food. Associate one thing with the other, 意思是把什么和什么联系起来。For example, people usually associate fast food with the US. 人们一提起快餐呢，就会想到美国。Snails are despised. Despise means to look down upon or scorn. 鄙视、鄙夷。For example, he despised himself for being such a coward. 他为自己如此懦弱而鄙视自己。The idea never appealed to me very much. Appeal to somebody means to please somebody, attract or interest somebody. 使什么人感兴趣 For example, does the idea of working abroad appeal to you? 意思其实就是 Are you interested in working abroad? 在国外工作这个主意对你有吸引力吗？ Take a stroll means to take a walk in a very leisurely way. 散步，而且强调的是非常悠闲的散步。注意，这里当然是用了一个拟人化的说法来形容 snails. My prized plants. Prize here means valuable. 大家还记得第16课的时候我们学过 Mary's lamp was one of Mary's prized possessions. 这里意思是一样的。Acting on a sudden impulse. 一时冲动 On impulse. 中间加 an 或者省略 an 意思都是冲动之下。For example, I invited him on an impulse, but now I'm regretting it. 我一时冲动呢，就邀请了他，但是现在后悔了。抑制一种冲动，动词用 resist. He couldn't resist the impulse to burst out laughing. 他简直无法抑制这种想要大笑的冲动。Snails would of course be the main dish. Dish here is not the kitchenware, but the cooked food. Dish 在这里头呢，不是盘子，而是菜。The main dish, 主菜。For example, if I say, "What's your favorite dish?" 意思就是你最喜欢吃的菜是什么？ I did not fancy the idea means I did not like the idea. Fancy 是 like 或者 want 的意思，尤其是英国人愿意这么用。For example, do you fancy a drink this evening? 今天晚上想不想去喝一杯？ They had taken complete possession of the hall. Take complete possession means to control whether you own it or not. 不管你是否拥有这个东西，对这个东西加以控制。它后边呢，经常要跟上 a house 或者 a car or something else valuable 这样的名词。课文中这个句子呢，说蜗牛占据了大厅，这个呢也是拟人化的说法。Look at this example. Though we have bought the house, we won't take possession of it until the present occupants move out. 在现在住的人搬出去之前，我们还不能说是真正拥有了这个房子。最后，我们来看看课文中两个表达比较含义的句子。No creature has received more praise and abuse than the common garden snail. Robert was delighted to see me and equally pleased with my little gift. 前一个句子使用了比较级的 more than， 但是表达的是最高级的意思。把这句话换一个说法，就是 Among all creatures, the common garden snail has received the most praise and abuse. 后一个句子当中呢，用的是副词 equally， 表示前后两者没有什么差别。但是没有差别同样暗示了一种比较，因此呢，也可以转换成含有比较级的句子，就是 Robert was delighted to see me and no less pleased with my little gift. 就这种用法，我再给大家举两个例子。Nothing is more precious than time, yet nothing is less valued. 这里虽然使用的是比较级 more than 和 less， 其实表达的是最高级的意思。就是 time is the most precious, yet is the least valued. 使用 equally 呢 He is good with words and equally creative with his hands. 如果用比较级来表达，就是 He is good with words and no less creative with his hands. 他呢擅长文字，但是动手能力也很强。Finally, let's come back to the snails. 最后，我们就课文本身再说几句。这篇课文选用了饮食习惯这个角度，来说明日常生活中其实很多细节会反映出文化差异。 除了饮食习惯之外，其实 there are a lot of other details in our daily life which might reflect cultural differences, such as the meaning of body language, of a certain color, or of a particular number. 在我们日常生活中，怎么样使用身体语言？有的时候，一个数字或者说一种颜色，它代表的象征意义，都会因为文化差异而有所不同。我们把现在的这个年代叫做 Age of Globalization， 就是全球化时代。那么对文化差异呢，人们也抱着不同的态度。Some think that cultural differences should be maintained. Some think that cultural differences are barriers which should be overcome. 但是不管是什么样的态度， we need to start from the simple truth, which is one man's meat is another man's poison. Okay, I'll see you next time.